Welcome back. This video is going to be more of a challenge. If you can't do it, just watch it and enjoy it and be amazed at what can happen on a double-strung harp. This is a different animal, this instrument, and you can do 500 things you could never do on harp before. This is one of them. This is one of my favorite patterns on the double-strung harp. It's one of those things where you go, I could never do that on my regular harp, so it's lots of fun. I call it the Carolina Wren. This is almost more of a demo than an instructional video because the notation for this pattern is in the Mastery with Ease exercise book that I'm just putting out. So, but you've already done in tutorials 85 and 86, the left hand roving thumb against the right hand seesaws. So it'll sound like this. That's when they're sisters right against each other. Now with the Carolina Wren pattern, it's a matter of timing, so it's now another thing that you've already done, I think in 86, is to do the right hand seesaws starting at the top, coming down. So with your normal basic vanilla rhythm, it would be, but with the Carolina Wren rhythm, it's now, when you drop down your left hand to an A and you keep this on a C, you're offset by a third. So the Carolina rhythm would sound like this if you're coming from the bottom on your seesaw. If you're coming from the top down with your seesaw, it's... I'm going to just drop down to a G with my left hand, so I'm offset by 4. I'm just going to do it from the top down here. I'm going to drop down to an F. And at the end, I'm just going to do just those together. Oops. Yeah, just together. And it's nice to not do the same thing the whole time, so that's just kind of a punctuation. It makes a fourth. It's a G and a C. Now once you get this, you can anchor your left hand instead of on the right hand C. You can anchor your left hand on the C and offset your right hand by 5. So it's on a G158, C158, G158. But I'm still doing the roving thumb in the left hand and the seesaw in the right hand, either upwards like that or downwards. And I'm going to move this hand. This stays in the same place it's anchored, but I'm going to go from offset by 5 to offset by 4 to offset by 5, and it is gorgeous. Now let's say you want to use this to improv in a minor sound. So you could anchor your left hand on an A minor for your roving thumb. I'm in the key of C, so the A is a minor now. And in the right hand, I'm going to do E minor, which is offset by 5 for my seesaws. and then offset by 4 on a D minor, and then back. So it sounds like. I'm going to end on a G major to ground it. Now I'm going to stay with that same tradition of doing the offset by 5, then 4, then 5. So this is going to be a G major in the left hand, roving thumb. Right hand, I'm going to go offset by 5, G, A, B, C, D. So it's going to be on D for a seesaw, and then it's going to go down to the C, that's offset by 4, and then back. So it's going to sound like. I'm still doing that pattern of anchoring on my left hand and then offsetting by 5, then 4, then 5. But this is another minor one. This is going to be on D minor because I'm in the key of C, so D is minor. And it's the right hand is going to be offset by 5, so A minor. Then G major offset by 4, then A minor. So it's got a beautiful sound. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing. My left hand on the D158, roving thumb, my right hand on the A, but this time instead of coming down with my seesaws from the top note, I'm going to start on the bottom note. So, okay, so this is what it'll sound like. Now I'm going to keep them all sisters. They're right across from each other, but I'll make a chord progression. So let's see. I'm just going to do anything I want to. So I'll start on a D. Oh, I offset by 5. Happy accident. As you experiment with this, you'll find some other things. I just found a great one to stack 158. So I've got a G158 here, G158 here, and I'm going to come down with this seesaw. But listen to this, it's so cool. So stacked is offset by 8, but I came down to offset by 7, which gives a beautiful sound of a 7th, and then back. Let's see what would happen if I do that on C. I don't like that. So as you experiment, you'll find things. Let's try it on a D. That's pretty cool. So I found some it doesn't sound good on, but I found an A stacked on top of an A sounds good. If you come from offset by 8 to offset by 7, to offset by 8. So check this out. You're going to make cool movie soundtracks with this. As far as double-strung patterns goes, the Carolina Wren is kind of advanced. Although I'm not an advanced harp player, I'm definitely intermediate. But of course it sounds really hard, the patterns that we do on double-strung, and they're not necessarily that hard. So that one, it's kind of, your brain has to just get it, and all of a sudden it'll click in, and it's very easy after that. I find it very relaxing. Now you could use it in improv combined with simpler techniques that you learned at the very beginning of the tutorials. For instance, staggered 1/5/8. As I do these videos, don't worry, the harder ones will be followed by some easier ones, and vice versa. You'll always have a challenge and something you can do.